Hey everybody, welcome to session 20 of our Fear Itself campaign. We have finally defeated the elusive clootie. We're promoting with like 20% less planning per episode, so we hope you enjoy that. But I'm gonna kick it right
That
over to
means
Neil.
only an hour and a half worth of planning per episode.
Dude, the planning is the best part. Sorry, planning rules.
I was guessing there might be less planning on this mission, but now that I think about it, it might be more.
Yeah, we're gonna overthink it. Oh my god.
Because I'm trying to make like players and like mysteries that are anyway. Yeah. Before we get started, I've heard that somebody out there in listener land bought a polo because we were gonna. Randy offered to buy it. Well, not Randy. Kurt. Randy doesn't exist.
I am the same person.
See, I try to like keep call character names. Immersion. So it's like we should set up a T-shirt, but you know what? I said if you've already bought a shirt, then I said you could get some free coffee if you like coffee. So just send John the address to send it to, and you can get a bag of whatever ground style you like. Make sure you drip, coarse, whole bean. I'll send you a free bag of Legends of Tabletop Legendary Brew Coffee. Just send him your information. It's yours for free for listening because I appreciate it. I like to know I'm not talking into the goddamn void. John, cut all this out. I'll do it. I'll do it, but nobody cares about hearing about it.
Cut out everything except for I'm talking into the goddamn void. Leave that in.
Yeah. Anywho, you guys completed your mission. Edward was like, take some time off. It was, not expected to capture the entity at all. There were simpler, less or more destructive ways of taking care of it, but you got a supernatural entity captured. So that got you not only some time off, like your time off, to kind of recuperate since it was a pretty long mission, but you're also up for what would be considered a pretty nice, as far as missions go, pretty spectacular mission at a very, very swanky exclusive hotel in the Swiss Alps. So you kind of get, but you guys probably didn't remember this. I did say you have to have like alter egos. You have to play people that would be fancy at this hotel. You are not the ghost facers. Mostly because you're trying to infiltrate and determine the cult that attacked Randy early on and was trying to get the information suppressed of the monster you killed. The witch, the hag bolted metal eye plate thing. They wanted it gone and didn't want it revealed. And they know who you are. So if you're like, hey, we're the ghost facers, then the cult would either A, murder you, or B, just run away. So probably not the best to be like, hey, we're the guys that fuck with you. So you do kind of have to do some sort of alter egos. In the meantime, what would you be doing? So I would say we were in sort of October-ish. I'm going to say you get till after Thanksgiving is kind of the timeline of like decompress, do what you need to do, see your family, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll kick off into mission briefing and that sort of thing. But what would you do, say, October for the next month? What are your plans? What are you focusing on? What makes you feel better?
I went down to Bermuda for a 3-week jaunt, and primarily just laying around. I looked at some real estate. Couldn't afford any of it, but I looked at it anyway. And
Okay. So you didn't steal like all of the cash that you grabbed from the drug dealer and just spent it on real estate in Bermuda and said, fuck you guys. That's what I would have done.
no, but that you know, that's a possibility down the road. Let's put it that way.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So that's super relaxing. That's definitely, you know, you get some. I mean, you're in the Midwest. I believe we said Ohio, so it's kind of cold in November usually. So Bermuda, nice spot. Super relaxing. You definitely. So you recover your health and sanity. All that goes back up to max. What would Erin be doing at that time?
Erin had asked Edward if they had any like on staff like psychologists and stuff, because he and Jack had taken a beating with the clootie. So he just scheduled a couple of appointments. Depending on the first one, maybe he'd go back a couple of times or whatever, and it might have like morphed into like, man, this thing was so fucked up and blah blah blah. And it was like, my dad was an alcoholic, and like it just kind of snowballs once he like goes to a session or two. And then just keeping up with his brother and his mom, and they were away for a little while, so going over for dinner, helping do stuff around the house. He's got the Christmas lights out after goes over for Thanksgiving dinner, puts out the Christmas lights and everything, and so like just that kind of stuff. He's watering Jack's plants. He's got like one pothos. It's kind of like half dead. He's over there watering it.
Okay. So the psychologist is definitely used to this type of request, and has seen significantly worse situations, obviously. But he is able to, so he sort of like gives you sort of some, tries to kind of calm the existential horror of these things. So if you're having nightmares or whatever about, the Clootie's wail and that sort of stuff, or like felt, sort of like scratches, like sort of the non-corporeal wounds, kind of like phantom pain, uses some like cognitive behavioral techniques to try to get you to be like, it's not real, we conquered it. It was beaten, blah, blah, blah. It's not able to do anything at this point. And even if another one showed up, you don't really have to worry about it as much because you defeated it fairly handily once you figured out the plan to do it. So you kind of get your head around that. And, spending time with your family helps. Everyone's kind of like circles around. Thanksgiving's kind of like the big Thanksgiving dinner type deal. With your mom and brother, that definitely helps kind of like bring you back into like normal real world stuff. So that kind of is what soothes you to, and then obviously any wounds would be healed. Right. But yeah, the sanity comes back by kind of getting into the normal business of, kind of being there with the people you care about, and then also kind of working through it with the doctor. Right.
He would also follow up with the guy from Washington whose name escapes me right now. Like off screen, he would have been attending to emails and calling his mom, like doing all that kind of stuff. But if anything had come up, he would have followed up with that. If nothing was like pressing, he might have just fired off an email and like, hey, did you turn up anything?
Sure.
New, anything weird or whatever, but would have been something he was hammering on.
Yeah. So it's William Strathford is the historian. I don't know. I don't remember the last information you've gotten other than, the entity being sort of a harbinger of bad things or warning people of kind of overstepping their mortal world is sort of the.
Yeah, you can type back to the guy, dude, we froze it.
Well, he'd found out that like one of his, there was a Native American woman on his, I think it was on his mom's side, who was
Yep.
like a I don't remember if she was a shaman or not. I don't know, like flip all my pages, but yeah, like there was some family involvement.
Yeah, I mean, she was Native American. She wasn't necessarily. I don't think she was like a shaman per se. At least I don't have notes of that. But she was Huron.
Maybe that's just what it was.
Like descent. And so, yeah. So you have some, at least relationship or some tie to that particular tribe. Yeah. So as far as the information that he has found, I mean, the entity that you've seen it's common for members of that tribe to see. It was sort of the shaman typically was who would see that entity, and often it was a premonition of or warning of not, I guess, overstepping the bounds of sort of the tribe's role as sort of the keepers of the earth versus dealing with things that may be in modern day terms supernatural or I guess you could say extraterrestrial, stuff that was not just there is a story that Strathford relates to you, a fairly well-known Huron myth of a tribesman, warrior, one of the leaders, the best hunter in the tribe, as well as his sort of his group, his friends, the group he hunted with, were going to essentially hunt down what they believed to be a Wendigo, and that had, according to the belief of the warrior, murdered his wife and taken her, and so he wanted revenge. And it was sort of one of the not so nice, I guess, allegorical story of, the shaman said you shouldn't go. It's dangerous. It's something beyond your, like, we just have to accept that it happened, essentially. And you shouldn't pursue it further. You should just let it go. The Lord Huron has, warned me that the path is destruction. And so he said, but, I can do what I can if you must go. And, gave him charms and blessings or the equivalent of blessings, I guess, for a non-church type that, spells or whatnot for protection. And the tribesmen went out, and at least in the myth, they never returned. But no one else disappeared from the tribe, and the warrior's wife kind of returned from sort of deep in the woods, extremely like battered, bruised, cut, and never spoke again. Like, she didn't speak of what happened or speak at all after that. So she was mute after that. And they, I guess, according to the story, he sacrificed himself and his compatriots, with him to save his wife from the Wendigo, possibly defeating it, as it was not heard from again. But they're quite dangerous spirits. So the shaman sort of the moral of the story is, you can heed warnings and, be safe, but perhaps not fulfilled. But
you guys know what the Wendigo's favorite color is?
I'm scared to ask what.
Indigo.
Zing. Where did John go? What's happening?
I had to do the blinds. I'm being blinded over here.
Gotcha.
I thought you left. I thought you left because that joke was so terrible.
Yeah,
I'm out. I'm out.
I mean, so great. It was so great.
So that's what you get from him. As far as any further stories, sort of you can challenge the warnings, but there may be sacrifices is kind of the gist of the fable. And of course, there's no actual records. This is all spoken oral tradition type stuff that had been recorded and then transcribed. But.
Gotcha. Cool.
What's Randy up to?
Oh, I get a chance? Okay. I think that Randy would surprise his mom by, just showing up unannounced. She'd probably, verbally and physically beat him up a little bit just because, she hasn't seen him in forever. But he takes on the role of not the usual son. He actually helps do things around the house, like clean up and maybe plant some flowers outside. And well, actually, it's getting into what we talked about, wintertime maybe. So maybe he's doing other stuff around the house. Maybe he brings home a flower and plants, brings a nice flower home or something like that and puts it in a corner and waters it nicely and does a lot of stuff around the house. And then he has a little nerd retreat with some of his other friends where he has them over at the house and they play D&D and Risk and watch some horror movies. And then he even has a little thing where he has his friends stay and monster movies, so they all watch monster movies together and stuff like that. So just his way of kind of getting things back to normal. So
okay.
They make a blanket fort in the basement.
Yeah, of course. Throwing tennis balls at each other as grenades. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's what we
do.
That's right.
Yeah.
My footy pajamas, I put them on.
Yeah, so Randy's mom is definitely surprised. I mean, she is where have you been, that sort of stuff. But then is very surprised and happy about the new Randy doing stuff around the house and being not like a teenager again, so helping out and doing nice things. And so she's extra, I guess I would say, so she's extra oh, what do you need? What do you want? I'll, cook whatever you want and that sort of stuff. But then also less sort of overbearing and more oh, you can take care of stuff. So, I'm not going to hassle you about, where you've been, that sort of stuff. So, you guys sort of have a more functional, less yelling relationship. But she's still doing super nice stuff for you. You hang out with your friends. That definitely, so you kind of somehow, so for some reason, seeing the fake monster stuff, you're kind of wow, that's not how it is at all. There's a lot more to the stuff. And so you're kind of all of this is ludicrous, but so it's kind of more fun to you than it you're yeah, if only that, or if only I didn't have to constantly fight these stupid shits.
Yeah, it's Randy's almost kind of growing up at kind of at a certain point now, it's kind of, yeah, like you said, with like watching those old movies and stuff like that, it's like, this is nothing, you know?
Yeah. Like, oh, I used to be scared of that, but now it's like, that ain't how it is. But you can't really like.
It's like the bathroom was down the hall from my room, and I used to run really fast because I was like, I don't want the boogeyman to get me, you know? So you get in the bathroom, like, oh, I'm safe, you know? And as soon as you're done, you like, run down the corridor again. You know, okay, I'm good.
Yeah. Now you're like, fuck that. If there's a boogeyman, I'd know about it. And there's, you know, I'd have to track it down and kill it because I've done that now twice. So it's also kind of that. You're kind of like watching this shit and you're like, that's not how you do that. And so like there is a little bit of like, I know how to do this shit. Like we've figured out how to completely take out three now terrifying creatures that you're like, it wouldn't work out that way, but like this is how you do it. Not telling people, obviously, I would assume not telling them like I've killed all these monsters. But you are a ghost facer, so they know that. So like, that's a good question. So Erin's kind of more around his family who may or may not watch it. Your friends would definitely watch the ghost facers. How does Randy, like, what is your take on like when they're like, holy shit, like how did you fake that? That's basically I mean, none of them are like, this is definitely like a monster. Like, holy shit, that alien looked like a fucking alien creature man thing. What the fuck, dude? Like, how do you have the budget for this? Like, what are you doing over there? Like, do you have like a contract?
Yeah. So basically what I do is I kind of pull them along. Like, it's like one of those things where it's like, you give them little tidbits every once in a while. Like, we kind of did this, but you're not really privy to this information, and just kind of, just give them, they want it all, even if it's a fake it all, so I give them little pieces to kind of draw them in, and then when they're really, at the edge of their seat, then I like go to the bathroom or something like that, or just like, it's like, let them kind of, because then I'll kind of, pretend I need to go get a sandwich or something. And then I almost close the door. And then I just kind of sit at the door and listen to them go, holy shit, and kind of talk at each other and stuff like that. And say, oh, he's full of shit. No, I think he did it, whatever. So.
Yeah. And they're definitely like, they're kind of like, wait, did he like, is that real? Cause like, he's definitely got like more swagger. So I feel like some of that real. And then they're like, fuck that ain't real. But like, maybe he's just got swagger because he's like got a deal, right? Like you've got a production company that's secretly like, so now he's like big deal making money, but like he's not going to say that to us because if you say like I got a big deal, then we'll be like, oh, special effects. So they're all like, some of them like half think it's real and you're just like ballsier, and the other half are like, no, he's just a rich fucking asshole now who's ballsier. Both are great. But one thinks, half are like, that's horse shit. And half are like, I think he might have actually seen monsters. So you do kind of convince, you convince some that like, maybe it was real. And the others are like, no way. Like that can't exist. Like, no way. Which is why you do the careful editing. And Edward only lets you do certain things. So it is plausible deniability on all counts.
That's right.
So you guys recover, you're doing your thing. It's sort of after Thanksgiving. Everyone's kind of had their time to decompress and everything. You get notes from Edward that asks if you're ready to take on the next mission. It's up to you guys. If you needed more time, he said, he understands, but he thinks you're the right ones for it. So he wanted to give you the shot before he tried to reassign it, or to make sure, if you were ready for it, you're ready for it.
Well, so are we what? Are we in a room together or something discussing this now, or what?
I will say, yeah. So you all get those postcards, and I assume you text or call each other and meet up at Erin's or at Jack's. Either one. They're beside each other.
Okay. So, and which country is this? Is this in Switzerland?
The mission is in Switzerland.
Yeah. Okay.
But you're currently home, like normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I started getting excited and saying, yeah, I've always wanted to go to Switzerland and see the Alps. And, it's like a James Bond movie. It's probably some kind of creepy castle, and there's probably all kinds of like fucking Duchess of Rathsmore and the fucking Count Motherfucker and all this kind of stuff there, and I've always wanted to do that. So I'm all excited about it.
You're like a fucking world traveler. You just got back from Bermuda. Now we're going to go to Switzerland? Shit.
Yeah, but everyone goes to Bermuda. Like Switzerland's a different story, especially because it probably is. It's probably up in like probably looks like a movie in the middle of the Alps there and stuff.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty cool. Brandy, have you ever? I mean, besides the trip out to Philadelphia, have you ever left Ohio?
No. I mean, I barely left my house. I mean, come on.
This should be pretty cool. It's gonna be fucking cold, right? I mean,
it is. Well, and plus, like, I don't know if you guys remember, but like, we get revenge on that fucker that beat me up.
Yeah, fuck that guy. You kick his ass now.
Yeah, that's right. Show him
You're
some taekwondo.
And he kind of like starts punching your shoulder and be like, yeah.
Okay. That's enough. Let's save it for Switzerland, man. Save it for Switzerland.
I bet you, Randy, in Switzerland, you can get one of those like big giant size Swiss Army knives and you can fucking cut the guy up.
Nice. Like the ones I see at Dick's Sporting Goods. Not a sponsor, but that's the only thing I can think of.
Jack, you should probably teach him the fucking banana hammer, right? Like he's all buffed out and shit now. Like you probably pick somebody up and throw him.
Well, I can show him the mini version, I suppose.
Yeah, at least start me off with a banana peel. I mean, come on.
See,
what do you call those little bananas? I'm trying to think of the name.
Little plantains? You talking about plantains?
Plantains are bigger than bananas. They make these like little mini kind of like bananas. I don't know what they're called. I can teach them that. Maybe the banana. Maybe the I don't know the mallet.
The plantain power bomb. You mean?
Plantains are bigger though. We'll talk those little midget bananas.
Pretty sure plantains are smaller. That's cool.
Yeah, but no, I can show them that. Yeah, we can go back right now and do it if you want.
Sweet. Training montage.
We start moving all the furniture out of the living room.
So the first thing you got to do is it's all about the elbow. The hammer move itself is your elbow coming down, and when it's fake, you always see him doing this kind of stuff. So you make the noise. You're just kind of hitting your own elbow.
Yeah, I love this.
If you do it for real, this is the hammer.
Nice.
And this comes down. This is going to crack someone's skull open, dude.
Oh, I can't wait. I don't remember his name, but I hope that cracks his skull. Yes.
So if you trip him up, you got to trip him up. He goes down, and then you got to just. And it's more fun if you hit it like this first, and then you come crashing down on his face.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to not do the noise. The noise is going to happen. Even if it takes me a little bit and I miss it, I'll have to do it again because it cannot happen without the noise.
If it's a life or death situation, you got to aim for the eye socket right with that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Straight for down.
Sure. Eye socket, temple, whatever I need to do. Jugular, I'll take him out.
You got dibs, man, right? I mean, he's your guy if he's there.
Yes, I definitely do.
At least they haven't been coming around, right? I mean, Edward said it's been pretty quiet, so that's good. So,
yep.
Hey, what the fuck ever think happened to Jeffries? That cop? You remember that cop? He was freaked the fuck out.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, it wasn't. He was supposed to get a hold of us. I thought, wasn't he?
I don't think he's a. Man, I don't know. He was in rough shape. I wonder if he's still on the force, man. That guy might have fucking retired. Like, there was a fucking monster head in my fridge.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. God, who knows?
Well, that seems like a whole lifetime ago.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
Fuck. All right. Well, I mean, what do you think? Are you guys ready? Like, we're ready to go on a trip? I mean, fuck, it's coming up on Christmas. Like, do you think we get in and get out? Like, I don't know. You know, I mean, we got to figure out what he wants, but.
Well, you know what? We can use the excuse that if any of our family and friends are missing us, or whatever, just be like, hey, double time, extra money, and maybe we tell what's his face that, but hey, double time, extra money.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he's kind of a dick. I know you hate him, and you'll probably be like,
he's kind of
to Switzerland, so like
you're not
gonna get anything.
Take that kind of out. Put that label on him because he is a dick.
All right. It's fair. I mean, I don't like. He had me all riled up.
It's
with
not
that
fair.
Fucking
it's
alien
truth,
thing.
Aaron. You don't have to stand up for him. I know you love him. But you don't have to stand up for him.
No, I mean, I'm not. I don't love him. I'm just, it's whatever. It's whatever. I'm not gonna change your mind. It's he's.
No, you are not.
Yeah. It's all right. All right, so do we want to head over today? Do we want to send him a postcard telling him we're going to come tomorrow?
Well, he's got to send the tickets. I mean, he's got to get us some plane tickets.
Well, I mean, we got to go in. We got to go in town and talk to him and find out what the fuck is going on, right? Like the note says that the cult or whatever is in Switzerland. Like we got to go, but we got to find out all the deets, right?
Well, I don't think we have to go back and talk to him in person, though, right? I mean, you think he could just send us a brief
dossier? Oh my gosh, yeah. Can we get a dossier? And then I'll feel like real Bond. Like, can we have it make I want to write on there 30 seconds. In 30 seconds, this will explode, and then we could throw it into the river or something. That would be great.
I suppose. I don't know. Would they send that through the mail though? Like that's confidential shit and whatever.
Well, we've gotten lots of questionable things through the mail, so I don't see a small bomb that explodes. Maybe it just goes poof. Who knows?
Well, we've talked to him on the phone, right?
No, man. It's always postcards and shit.
Oh, can we get a supernatural phone where we can talk to him? Oh my god, that would be the bomb.
Well, you know what?
Sorry.
Maybe
I said the bomb. That's not me. I apologize.
Somebody did call us, right? Remember, we left the thing at the Dunkin' Donuts with the little fucking pull tab and call us here. Somebody called us.
That's true.
But he might have been out of the pocket world, right? Because none of that shit works there. So he might have been down the street and called us while we were sitting there or whatever.
Mm. All right, it doesn't take us too long to get there, right? So we can go.
Yeah, I mean it's just outside of town.
Yeah, let's do it.
I love seeing his lovely face. Let's go.
I mean, they do have good coffee. I'm gonna say they got the birds in there now. It's really good.
Yeah. The birds is great, and they've got some good hoagies too. I'm gonna need a hoagie.
They make a good burger too.
Probably too. Yeah, burger and a hoagie. I'm in. Let's go.
Wait, what?
A hoagie and a burger together. Hoagie burger.
Man, that's oof.
Hey, my body can handle it.
All right. I mean, you do you, man.
Darn right.
So
let's get in the truck. We go.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can head over. Edward will know you're on your way.
Can I do something stupid? Just a little back it up.
Sure.
Just a little bit.
Sure.
Just because apparently I'm punchy and I just want to add stupid shit. So I want to say that I get a paint job for Jack's truck and it looks like Optimus Prime. I just want to do it. I don't care. Just because I'm feeling froggy, I'm got more confidence.
You do it without telling him, I assume?
Yes, you darn right I do.
Well, I don't know how that's even possible because you wouldn't have the keys and you wouldn't have,
I get a bunch of professional spray painters and they just do it in the night while you're sleeping. Do I have to roll for that? I'm sorry. I'm really making this going off the
Do you have to roll for it? No, I mean,
Didn't we? About having his truck spray painted? I know we at least joked around about it once before.
Yeah.
I guess it could be it's not infiltration. What's the sneaking? Sorry,
Infiltration.
Is that a general? What's the general?
It's a general, yeah.
Then I guess it would be infiltration versus notice check.
I'm gonna do it. I don't care. This is fun.
Okay.
Ooh, a 5.
Now I go.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got a 2.
Hey.
So yeah, Randy's guys in the night, spray paint very well, like professional paint job. Your cab to look like Optimus Prime. You do not wake up and there's no, like, you have like a light that comes on at night, right? Like if there's like a motion sensor, you don't notice it though. And you wake up in the morning and your truck is painted very blue and red with some chrome accents and such. That looks like, I guess, do you have trivia? I don't know. Trivia would be what it would be to know what Optimus Prime looks like. I don't know if you would know who Optimus Prime is.
Oh, I think everybody knows what Optimus Prime is.
Okay, then you notice that someone spray painted your truck like Optimus Prime.
Well, now Jack is supremely fucking angry. And he has no idea who did this. And he knows there's nothing he can do about it at the moment, so he just kind of just goes back in the house and knows he's going to deal with this later.
Cool. I'm not gonna say anything about it because if he doesn't say anything, I'm not gonna say anything.
Well, wait. So where am I? Am I with?
So can we say it's like when we're leaving the house, like it's the night before, right? So we all come over. I come in with Randy, so you don't see the truck, and then we're like, all right, we're gonna leave, and then we'll open up the door and walk out, and your truck is like painted the wrong fucking color.
So I'm like,
Sure.
So I just stand there in silence for a moment, and just on the inside, I'm ready to kill.
I didn't fucking notice that when did you paint your fucking truck?
No, dude, I didn't.
I don't.
Who the fuck did this?
Surprise! Happy birthday!
Surprise!
Did you paint his truck, man?
I sure did. I thought he would love it. It needed new. It's been a while.
He like cocks his head. He's like, "Is that supposed to be? Is that Optimus Prime?"
It is. And look and check this out. You know how we have the cannon. Now,
Yeah.
stay with me. If we attach that a cannon at some point, it will just look normal because it's Optimus Prime. Come on.
So I don't say anything. I just walk over to Randy, and I grab by the neck and I fucking punch him in the fucking stomach as hard as I fucking can until he fucking pukes.
Give me a scuffling check. And you're going to be contested. Well, no, it's not contested because it's if you pass, it hits him. But is Randy going to punch back?
Oh, he's down on the ground, dude. He's done.
Well, no, that's not guaranteed. I mean, you're punching a guy. There's rules for that.
You better spend some points if you want that.
Yeah.
I will do like exactly what he says. Because I I probably had a little something before we went over, and I'm still hungry. I just kind of dry heave for a little bit, and then finally just puke something up, and I go, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, I'm on my hands and knees, just kind of breathing like, you thank a guy for trying to be nice, good Lord, and then he just kind of falls on his side and just tries to breathe for a while and just try to get his composure back.
So Erin like rushes over. He's like, "Whoa! What the fuck? What the fuck? What are you doing?"
Oh, Randy, you gotta lose. You're gonna lose 4 health for that because he just punches the shit out of your stomach. So, like, if you're gonna drop, then you're gonna like. If it's enough to drop you and you're not defending, you get socked at least 4 or 5 times.
And I turned to Aaron and said, "You don't fuck with a man's boots, and you don't fuck with a man's truck. I don't care who the fuck you are."
All right, calm down. We could probably get Edward to pay for it to get it repainted. Don't like fuck, man.
No, who painted this? I go to Randy and I say, "Who did you get to do this?"
He just can't. He can't talk. He's still trying to breathe. He doesn't even bother. He's just like. He's breathing so heavy. He's just like, you can beat me up more, but I can't even talk right now, so I'm not even going to try.
I look right at him and I say, "You get the same people who did this, you bring them over now, because we ain't going anywhere until this truck looks exactly like it did last night."
Are they going to have that color, Jack? I mean, like... Fuck, we can deal with it later. We're fucking going to Switzerland or some shit.
This stupid motherfucker makes my truck look like a goddamn... Everybody in the world is going to be up our ass driving this thing. We're trying to be incognito. Now I'm driving around in fucking Optimus Prime. What the fuck do you think is going to happen with this shit? Every place we drive into.
I mean, it's kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. Like, it looks kind of cool. I mean,
when we had to park the truck, the Mr. Alien, whatever the fuck his name was, when we had to get rid of that guy, we had to park that truck clandestinely. We had to do things clandestinely. We had to park the truck on the beach. You think that Optimus Prime is going anywhere fucking incognito? This is the goddamn stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I think technically you had a rental car in Philadelphia.
No, we had the truck too.
Yeah, you parked at the hotel though. We had like a black SUV we rented.
Although you do get like a couple like kids go by and they're like, "Optimus Prime!" Like they freak. Like,
all right, so
I go see. That's exactly what's gonna fucking happen. Every place we go.
Like Randy 12.
Randy types in the phone number and hands it to Erin. It doesn't say anything because he can't.
He takes the phone. He kind of looks at it for a minute, and he like hears somebody on the other end. He's like, "Oh, hey, yeah, are you the guy that painted the truck?"
Who's asking? No, who's asking?
Well, so Randy's got your number, and the guy whose truck it is super fucking pissed.
I can see that. Yeah. I mean, like, I saw that it's Randy's number, but you aren't Randy. And yeah, I'm sure someone would be pissed.
Randy tugs on Erin's like pants pocket and points at himself and then goes, "Money, like I'll pay for it," just.
So Randy can't talk.
Go like this, and then just go like he goes like 500 and just points at you and whatever.
So Randy can't talk at the moment as he just got his ass beat, but he said he'll pay for you to fix the truck. And we're gonna need you to probably do that like now, I guess.
Am I gonna get my ass kicked? Because I don't really want that.
So he like puts his hand on the phone. He's like, the guy doesn't want to get his ass kicked if he comes and repaints it. Are you gonna let him paint it?
I just when you asked if he was going to get his ass kicked, I just kind of silently shake my head no.
So he kind of slowly takes his hand away. He's like, no.
Well, that's not very confident, but I guess, Randy's a good dude, and if you're gonna pay us, I could use the money. So be there in half an hour. You want it the same color? I'd have to figure out what color was it again?
I don't fucking know. It was like tan or some shit with a lot of chrome. It's a fucking truck. I don't.
Well, isn't the guy that owns it there? Who's pissed? Ask him. Fuck.
Fuck. What
do you want me to paint it? I don't want my ass kicked with another fucking color. What about painting it goddamn teal?
All right, calm down. Jack, as he puts the phone against his chest, he's like, what fucking color was yours? Brown, right? Or tan or whatever?
It was black.
Black? Fuck, it was black? God damn, I didn't know shit. All right. Look, it's easy. It was black. Just make it black again.
Motherfucker,
we'll go in the house.
You said... He's like, motherfucker,
you painted it. I don't know.
Half an hour later, an old fucking El Camino pulls up with some fucking like straight up tagger looking, two guys. They look really worried though. As they approach, they've got their backpacks. And they're like, all right, well, money up front and I can get this done. It won't take us that long. I'll make sure it's as good as this job. As long as we don't get our ass kicked.
Yep. And Randy finally has caught his breath and he silently just walks over and hands them the money.
He's like, I don't know who has someone paint an Optimus Prime and get their ass kicked for it, but I might suggest not doing that a second time. I will paint this black again, but I have to say the Optimus Prime looks pretty sweet, right? Is it just me and you?
Aaron gives like a quick head nod, like, yeah, this is pretty bad.
I mean, it looks just like Optimus Prime, right? Like we did a really good job.
I'm sitting on the steps as I hear him say that. I just pull out my big knife and start sharpening my knife, like looking at the fucking ground.
So
he's
I give him, the throat swipe, like just.
He's like, black it is, classic color, never goes out of style. And like he and his friend just start going. They tape stuff off. It's a great paint job. They actually do a very good job for the limited amount of time and resources. But yeah, they cover it up, primer it, paint it black. Looks just like it did, but new paint. So there's that.
So as they like finish up, they're like tearing off the paper and shit. He's like, Can we drive that like today, or do we have to like wait till tomorrow? Does that have to like set? I don't know how this works.
The guy looks at his watch and he's like, it's cold. That's not helping. Give it an hour. I mean, and he's like, maybe two, and starts walking away like, I don't know. This is not what I do. I'm a tagger who just happened to fucking. Anyway, yeah. So
Aaron's like, maybe we take my car. Yeah.
Well, so if Randy can talk now, Jack finally just looks up from sharpening his knife. He just looks at Randy and goes, Randy, what the fuck was wrong with you?
Randy just walks to Aaron's car and just gets in the back.
Man, Randy is turning bad. He's just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm Randy.
That's not what it is. Randy, you can tell on his face that Randy is hurt. He's just like, I tried to do something nice and it didn't work, and I got whooped for it. I was trying to be a nice guy, but apparently I should have asked beforehand. And so he just kind of, he figures opening his mouth is not going to help the situation any. So he just gets in the car.
I mean, Optimus Prime with a cannon on him, that is pretty sweet. I forgot about the cannon too, so that is pretty badass. Anyway.
So I guess Jack and Erin are just kind of like standing there. He's like, I know you're pissed, but he was doing it out of place of love, Jack. I mean,
no, dude, he endangered our lives by doing that. You don't drive a truck. I've been all over the country. Number one, you don't drive a truck with a bunch of ostentatious bullshit like that, because you're going to get yourself in a lot of trouble just from other people, other truckers, man. You can't stop at a place and see that kind of shit. Number two, I inherited that truck from my dad.
ooh,
I don't talk about my dad very much, and I'm not going to talk about it now. But no one fucks with a man's truck. No one fucks with a man's beer. No one fucks with a man's boots, and you don't fuck with a man's truck. And that's it. And I didn't enjoy punching Randy. But you don't fucking do that without asking.
all right, I know. All right, I don't want it to be like a whole fucking thing before we're getting ready to leave the country. It's gonna be the three amigos, man. It's just gonna be the three of us, fucking El Guapo and shit. Like he just throws an arm around his shoulder. And he massages his neck, and he's like, "All right, look, let's table it for now. Let's go find out what's going on. Let everybody cool down. Maybe we'll get a beer or something."
Well, Jack goes over the car. He like taps on the window where Randy is in the car.
He doesn't even look up.
All right, so Jack opens the car door. He goes, "Randy, I didn't enjoy punching you."
Didn't seem like it.
No, I don't enjoy punching people. And I feel bad about it, but I feel worse about what you did to my fucking truck. But if you want, I'm going to stand here and I'm going to let you take a shot at me.
He looks up at.
I'm not going to hit you back, but I don't want us going on this trip with any hard feelings. So if you want to give me a shot, just do it.
He looks up at Jack, kind of considers it for a moment, pulls his hand off of the door, and then just shuts the door and just waits. Just waits for us to go.
Okay, so I get in the car.
Aaron just shrugs as you like look over across the roof, and he gets into and closes the door. He says, "Okay, happy fun times," and he like flips the radio on and just heads off to the pocket place.
Awesome. All right. I need to grab something to drink and probably something to eat real quick. That's like a snacky snack. So can we take a $5?
Sure. Smoke them if you got them.
I wish. By the way, don't tell my wife, but I got some pipe tobacco cigars that I'm gonna try.
Oh, jeez.
I love pipe tobacco. It's like a hug. I always said, pipe tobacco smells like a warm hug. And so it's a cigar, so you don't need to have the actual pipe. It smells delicious, by the way. I'll let you know how it is, but I'm not smoking it right now. I'm just getting a drink.
Okay.
If it's great, I'm going to get sponsored by him, by the way.
I hope so. Somebody needs to give us some money.
I smoke pipes. I have a pipe collection.
Do you?
Yeah. Not like all the time, it's if you smoke that stuff all the time, like you can't even taste food anymore. You know what I mean? Like these people that like smoke cigars or smoke pipes that constantly, it's like, ugh. It's like, and you don't inhale, you know what I mean? So I don't care what anybody says. If you just smoke that stuff once in a while, it doesn't hurt you. You're not inhaling the smoke. It's not,
Well, same thing with a cigar, I guess, right? It's more of a puff. You're not inhaling like a cigarette.
But again, you got these people, if they're like constantly smoking cigars like every day, that's just, that's bad. But once in a while, it's not too bad. It's more like I thought it should be like a hobby, not a habit, But yeah, I got pipes. Here, I'll show you one. I got one right here.
You have any weird hobbies, Kurt, that you like to share?
No, I don't have any good hobbies. This is my hobby. This is a good hobby.
Mm-hmm. I concur.
I used to smoke cigars every once in a while, and I like that, but it gets a little old after a while sometimes. Nice. That's some Sherlock Holmes bullshit right there.
It's like old man pipe.
It's a good Stanwell. It's a Stanwell pipe.
Yeah, it looks like a really well-made one.
Yeah, it's a Danish. Stanwell's a Danish company.
Nice. You should pretend like you're a Danish pipe guy or something, maybe. That'll be your alter ego.
Yeah, I can call myself Professor Jacques Crandall.
Nice. Nice.
There you go. Well, not where I thought this episode was going to go at all.
I know I said I was sorry for doing that before, but I'm totally not sorry for doing that. That was a good little moment.
and we didn't even have to plan anything. It just happened.
I know. And the funny thing is we can't really play off of that while Neil's gone because it's just going to be silence. That's all it's going to be.
Pretty much.
Driving in silence while we wait to get to Edward,
It's Erin humming in the car.
That's right. Everything's okay, right, guys?
Yeah. How about that Pirates game, huh, guys? Yeah, guys, right? Baseball game? Oh, well, at least this is just one big chunk I can edit out all in one shot.
Yep, no kidding.
I tell you what, I slaughtered the Cypher System game I just edited for Monday and Tuesday. It's like whole chunks, cutting them all out.
Yeah.
Dude, how many hours do you think you spend a week on this kind of stuff, like the editing and the viewing and all that stuff?
I was keeping track for a while. It's upwards. So it depends on the week and how much I can. Like sometimes I'll do more than one episode, but anywhere between 10 and say like 25, 30 hours a week between, gaming and research and interviews and editing and posting and, doing all the things that make the podcast run.
Yeah, it's a part-time job.
Yeah. I mean, editing by itself, if I'm just doing one episode like of an AP, maybe 3.5, 4 hours. Bless you.
Thank you.
The interviews are much quicker. Especially if I'm doing them. Yeah, because if something doesn't stick out, it'd be like, oh, somebody lost connection or someone's kid ran in. Like if nothing happened, you just level it, compress it, throw the bumpers on it, upload it. Like that's easy.
Yep.
When Leah does stuff, if I haven't caught any of it, like I'll usually just send her an email and be like, hey, is this good to go? Is there anything like, should I listen? Is there anything that needs to be cut? And if she's unsure, or if maybe she's like, well, yeah, you might want to listen, then I'll go through it. But there's less to cut out of an interview than there is for AP. Because, in AP, there's a lot of ums and ahs, and, things like this, or somebody's got to get up or whatever. Like there's just a lot more side chatter and things that have to be, or I feel like should be edited out. And then the sound effects and all that shit. Yeah.
Oh, and plus you're recording for longer too, so that takes a long time to do that.
Yeah.
Even if you're doing it in hour chunks.
Yeah, we usually do about an hour and a half because we normally play close to 3-ish hours.
Yeah.
So each episode releases about an hour and a half, hour and 15. It depends.
Makes sense. Yeah.
That's why I think. Okay.
Yep. It's the not fun part.
Have you looked at any stats like from like the Apple podcast stat things where it like tells you the average time listened to and stuff like that? Like, do people listen through the whole way? I just looked at that today for our stuff. It was not good.
I know Apple's doing the stuff now, and I haven't looked at their specific metrics. Like I just usually, I'll go through SoundCloud because it'll give me like top listeners, top downloads, countries, cities, stuff where stuff's being downloaded.
Yeah.
As far as how long it's being listened to, I don't know. It just registers it as a play.
Yeah. So like
download.
YouTube will tell you like
Mhm.
what the average length someone has watched your videos.
Right.
Made me sad. And then Apple does the same thing now. Oh, which made me sad. I'm like, yeah, anyway. 23 seconds is not a good average for anything.
You can't even like that's like, oh, I accidentally downloaded this. Let me turn it off.
At one point, I literally was like, do we have a theme song on the YouTube videos? Because that's longer than that. But we don't. So it's just us.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Like, hey,
music.
hey, this is Neil and the Two Black Guys podcast. Oh, I hate that.
That fucking guy again.
Yeah. Why is this guy on everything? Yeah, it was sad. I didn't care for it. Shouldn't look at it.
I'm surprised. So surprised.
Okay. Are we resuming?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a silent
Quiet
Okay.
ride to meet Dickwad.
Quiet car ride. You make it to town. You then go to the cafe, get a seat. They bring you coffees and water. Usually is what's ordered. So they give you. They just the waitress automatically just kind of brings that as a, and then asks if you want anything else.
Hoagie and cheeseburger, please.
Faye kind of gives you like a what?
You don't have to put them together, just separate, please.
She's like, do you want both of the fries? Both come with fries.
I feel like she knows me by now, and I just kind of give her a look like, why would I not want the fries?
And she's like, of course, I got it.
Erin orders a burger.
Jack just looks up and he's still kind of all surly, and he just says, says, no, nothing for me, thank you.
Are you sure, honey? You gotta eat. It's on the house. Always is.
Says no, I appreciate it, but I'm not feeling too good, so thank you.
All right. Well, if you need anything, you let me know. I'm gonna go get those burgers and hoagies started. She walks back off. I assume, yeah, you guys ordered lunch. Coffee with lunch could be weird. Who knows?
Coffee every time is good.
That's right. You can always
lunch every time is good.
You can always drink Bird's coffee. Lunch, breakfast, dinner, after dinner, dessert, post, dessert, wink. Guys, buy this coffee. It's fine. We're doing fine. Edward comes in kind of mid as you're eating your meal and sits down and is like, all right, boys. Good to see you again. I hope you're feeling better, recovered from the last encounter. Seemed like it was a bit stressful, but I'll say, great job. We've gotten a lot of good data thanks to you.
Erin just kind of looks at him. Is the thing still frozen? Like, is it still in the truck, or what did you guys like?
Well, do you want to know if it's frozen or still in the truck? Because those are two different answers.
Is it frozen still?
Of course. I have no possible inclination to unfreeze that thing at the moment. However, it is not still in the truck. We were able to extract it, and it's now in one of our research labs. in extremely deep cold storage. So I will thank you for having it completely immobilized. It's quite fascinating. We're not exactly sure how to even analyze it. It's physical-ish. Quite fascinating. So I'll say kudos to you. We'll learn quite a bit from this.
Randy's eating his food, and he starts eating, and he's such in a bad mood that he's just kind of chewing, and then he kind of says out loud without him realizing, he goes, "You talk weird," and then he just still eats his food as he's going about.
It's called a mid-Atlantic accent, son. Google it.
So Erin
Anyway.
kind of like, yeah, he kind of like, he visibly, like, he was kind of tense when he was like, well, that's two different things, and he just kind of like, he's kind of like settles back in a little bit, like he knows it's still frozen, like he's all right, cool. That was some
Anyway,
bad.
we got quite an important mission, and I will say, I would hope better than most. We don't often send agents to 5-star hotels. Compliments of us, obviously, all expenses paid. As long as you can we just informally make a promise that you don't overstay just for the fun of it? Kind of helps if we don't spend too much, but certainly enough to get the job done.
I mean, well, we're coming up on Christmas, right? Like, we want to try to get this done and get home because, Randy's mom's going to be pissed if he misses Christmas.
Well, I have to say,
I told her that we get double time if we're working Christmas, and you wouldn't want to make me a liar, Edward, would you?
he gives Randy a look, kind of like, I like where this is going, kid. He's like, oh, of course, but you don't want to miss Christmas with the family. It's important, family occasions. So, a little bit of a time. We do have some time limit, which I hope you guys are able to meet. In the meantime, what we're going to do is we'll fly you over. I assume you've come up with some backstory as to why you're traveling. You'll be going to Le Hotel Grand. It's quite phenomenal. At the very top of one of the higher peaks in the Swiss Alps. Amazing skiing. Quite the, I would say, we've heard that the rich and famous are often quite fond of the place. It seems to be a party every night. So I assume you'll have quite a bit of fun, but don't have too much fun still. Your job is to find out what the cult who attacked Randy is up to, what their mission is at the hotel, and stop them. If you can arrest them. Well, by arrest, I mean, if you can accost them in some way, tie them up so that we can extract them.
Are you making us cops? Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't say cops.
Okay,
I would encourage you.
So how do I? So are you calling us? Are you calling us kidnappers? Because that's pretty much what we're doing if we take somebody and tie them up without having proper authority, right? Kidnapping?
I would call you special agents. Or if you'd like, he straightens his tie. Supernatural heroes.
Erin kind of slaps the table and points at Randy. Like, yeah, man, fucking heroes.
It's funny because even though before Randy would love to hear this, for some reason it sounds awkward, and he just is like, what? He doesn't say that, but the look on his face is kind of like, that's what you're gonna call it. If he would have stuck with like, like a special agent or something like that, he would have been cool with it. But then when he said the other thing, he's like, oh my God, that sounds so corny. But yet he still kind of like does the thing where he's kind of like, okay.
I mean, sadly, I was going to go special agent, but then I thought it was funnier if he tried to placate you with superhero, but put the natural in. So
Nice.
He was going to say special agents, but supernatural heroes he thought was more engaging. But let's just make sure we understand here. We operate kind of waves around, kind of like the pocket city outside of some channels. The cult is quite dangerous. We need to stop them. We need to find out what they're up to and why they're doing what they're doing. And the fact that they seem to be intimately involved in multiple supernatural phenomenon, stopping you from releasing information about one. Now we believe trying to investigate, perhaps utilize supernatural phenomenon associated with the hotel. We don't know what their exact goal is, but we want to know. And I'm hoping that you three fine gentlemen will be able to infiltrate the hotel, speak with the guests and staff, and determine who might be working for the cult. Currently, we don't even know what they call themselves. They've all, let's just say, extinguished themselves before we've been able to interrogate them. So it would be quite fantastic if, much like the clootie, as you call it, you could somehow find an extraordinary way to capture one of these gentlemen or ladies without us having to simply do autopsies to see if there's something to be found.
Well, how do we extract someone living out of Switzerland?
Oh, if you can secure them in some way in your room, you'll have, of course, access to telephone number that you can use to dial from your room. You'll have full long distance international calling capabilities. You call the number and we'll send an extraction team immediately. It may take an hour, perhaps two, but we have stations in multiple countries throughout Europe. So it's not a concern as long as you can secure them and contact us. Of course, you'll have to memorize the number. I'm not able to provide it written down. That obviously would be too big a risk for our organization.
Sounds like a deal.
I believe in you.
Do the postcards work like out of the country? Like we've used them here, right? Like they always bam, like they just go right away. But like if we're in Switzerland, does it work the same way?
Of course. Our system, as I will call it, certainly works internationally. So if you need to get a hold of us, you could certainly use postcards to contact us. That's also an option. However, wasn't quite sure if you could routinely access postal services or a distribution box fast enough. That's why I said the phone number is available. That will give you a direct line. You don't even need to say anything. Simply call the number. You'll hear a few beeps. 2 beeps, hang up, then an extraction team will be there within 2 hours. Other than that, of course, if you need to contact us, simply use the postcards as normal.
All right, and so we don't. I mean, we don't have any information at all, like about the hotel or the people there or any. Like we don't know any. We're going in completely blind.
What would you like to know? We know about the hotel, clearly. However, I'm not sure. As far as cult members, unfortunately, we don't know who may be operating. We just know that they are interested in the location.
Is it haunted? I mean, is there like some bad juju shit that happened at the hotel?
No, not anything in that particular vein. I mean, there are rumors of other cults operating throughout history, perhaps as part of the hotel, or whilst staying at the hotel, I would say, not in particular members of the hotel staff. Various, satanic cults, witchcraft, that sort of thing. I'm not sure how much stock to put into it. There is obviously some source of power if the cult has decided to spend the resources required to access the hotel for that long. Of course, they may not be guests. I guess they could also have gotten positions at the hotel. We're not sure. All we know is they're investigating something powerful there that they believe they can utilize to wreak havoc upon the good in the world, if you will.
Well, is it? You said the other cults use it. Is there like, what do you call them? Fucking like not Nazca lines, the ley lines. Is there ley lines there? Like, do you know that? Like that's the thing, right? Like I watched this thing on the History Channel about it.
I know what you're talking about, of course. Ley lines are fickle, I would say. Some of them seem to correlate quite well with what you would call supernatural phenomenon. Other times, it depends on the source describing the lines. They can be completely innocuous from what I have determined. However, there are some anomalies with the hotel, of course.
Randy was like, could we get like a dossier on like Randy was all into like getting a folder full like papers and shit. Do you have something like that?
I can print out whatever you'd like, but what would you like in the dossier? I've told you. If you'd like to know about the history of the hotel, then I suppose I could give you information on that. What else is it you're looking for in this dossier?
What about any local crime or anything like that that's been happening around, or maybe anything that's unusual that's been happening around there too?
So far, nothing unusual directly. It's mostly we have leads that cult members access certain accounts, and of course, unfortunately, Swiss accounts tend to be a dead end. So we know that there's operations in the area, but we don't know what or exactly where. However, with the amount of resources, cash withdrawn, I can only imagine that the hotel would be their prime area of operation. There's nothing else close by that would require the funds necessary to withdraw. Also, there's no other location with any supernatural history in the area outside of the hotel.
Well, if you can include all that too, whatever cults have been there and like what their backstories are or whatever, like maybe we can try to put together a picture as we're, flying out. We go through all the paperwork and shit.
I feel like we're going to need some sort of talisman protection.
Yeah, depending on what kind of cult, right?
Not that you have any, but I'm saying maybe we could figure something out if you give us enough information.
Certainly, I'll provide everything I can. I can't say we have any specific talismans against an unknown at this point threat. With more information, if necessary, perhaps I can provide you with something. I'll need more specific information on whatever entity or source of power might be threatening you. In which case, hopefully, our team can generate some sort of defensive or protective mechanisms for you. Of course, it will require, again, specifically what the nature of the entity or power source that the cult may be accessing is. We'll need to know more than just it's some supernatural phenomenon. And we're not even sure there is. The cult often follows false leads, but something tells me if they're willing to invest this amount of resources, they're fairly certain of its potential.
Is there any connection between this cult and the other cults, the cults from the past, or are they like just continuing the work?
I think no. I don't have direct data to make that claim. However, the cults in the past, at least from my briefing, were independent, local, either pagan cults, some known as satanic cults, as of course that became more popular as a way to call out nefarious individuals or even simply dissenters from the church. And of course, witchcraft was claimed in multiple cases prior to claiming satanic cults. Whether those may not have even been cults or even operating under the auspices of calling upon supernatural powers. It could have simply been someone politically did not like someone else, of course. But the cult that we are dealing with today is significantly more sophisticated than any one previous. They have resources, but not only resources monetarily, information beyond that which most organizations could even fathom, which is concerning. Our goal now, I believe, because so much extraordinary activity is occurring, that it is in some way connected to this cult. And in that case, we must begin to assault them directly. Otherwise, I believe there will be too much spillover, I guess, from their activities, whereas the clootie had not been seen, for instance, for centuries or decades at least from any known history, and all of a sudden shows up in a small town in Canada. That's odd to us. Typically, these things hide in the shadows, only showing themselves in a way that are unlikely to be discovered. In this case, seems the entities are more and more opaque to the average person. And so our job is to stop that. We must contain the threat and also contain the population from panicking.
Well, instead of the ghost facers, I guess we're calling ourselves cult busters.
I've got all the branding and everything, though. We've got a lot of fucking hits on that ghost. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
I mean, I'm not sure I would put cult busters on your website because that's definitely going to put a target on your back.
So, like, Erin, like, sits back. He's, like, taking a sip of his coffee, and his eyes all of a sudden get real big, and he slams the cup on the table, and he's like, you said they have, like a shit ton of information. Do you think somebody from the organization is fucking started the cult or is working for the cult? Like, how would they get all that stuff? Did somebody leave here and go there? Fuck, is everybody accounted for? Like, he starts freaking out.
Okay, well, calm down.
But I'm just saying, like, you said it's fucking, like,
fortunately not. The cult, unfortunately, was operating before the introduction of our organization. Our organization was formed as a counter operation to their activities.
All right. Cool.
As a matter of fact, the only reason we're able to sustain a hidden presence without watchful eyes is due to an exceptionally lucky capture of a very high-ranking member of the cult who had intimate knowledge of rituals and I'd like to call them something other than rituals, protocols, as in they were more scientific than astral or magical, I suppose, that allowed us to create this safe haven. So the short answer is no, no one from this organization started the cult. However, that wouldn't mean that anyone in this organization is not currently involved with the cult. We try to screen members as well as possible and maintain as many safeguards as possible. However, it's not unheard of to have moles, of course.
No, it's not us. Like, he holds up his hands.
He's like, I never thought you were. You seem not just on the up and up, but quite capable, beyond that of most people, even without the knowledge up front. You seem to have believed well prior to having direct evidence. That's a good sign.
He just shrugs. He's like,
you also haven't tried to find any supernatural sources of power or such to increase your danger or the amount of power you have or your offensive abilities. So also a good sign. In 3 missions, you haven't tried to create some sort of demon sword or, I don't know, light a lunar amulet who can, disintegrate a person's soul. Of course, those things don't exist, but if they did, certainly don't try to get them. But you haven't looked for that. You're focused on the mission. That's the best sign of all.
He looks at Randy. He's like, are you telling me? And he looks back at Edward. We could make that, like, fucking dagger from Evil Dead with the skull and shit? Like, is that what you're saying? We could do that? That's a thing?
I am not saying that.
I
am.
But you're not saying that.
I am not saying that.
All right. I just, because it never crossed my mind to, like, make a thing, but then you're like, you didn't make the thing. You're like, fuck, man, who can make the thing? And you're like,
I'm not saying there are mystical daggers of power. I'm also saying there's not many other mystical objects of power. So please try not to be distracted by that concept. It's not what you should be worrying about.
He leans across the table and he's like, you've got top men working on it, right? Top men. And he, like, looks at Randy. He's like shaking his head like, yeah.
There are men working on it, sure. Well, let's just say, because it doesn't exist, no one's working on it. How about that? Let's say that. It doesn't
Indiana
exist.
Jones, man. It's a reference, a movie reference.
Wait, what? Who's what
I know.
now?
Forget it. It's fine. It's fine. We won't make any like weird daggers and shit. We promise.
Please, if you're going to, at least give me a heads up.
And so he kind of like slowly turns at Randy, like. He's all over the place.
Well, gentlemen, is there anything else you need from me before you head out?
Kind of like scratches his face. He's like, Randy, that guy to beat your ass, and he kind of like half turns to look at Jack and like, the guy outside of work, right? Like, did he have a tattoo or some shit on his arm?
Yeah, he did, and I thought we found that out, but I can't remember.
So, did the other guy? So the bodies or whatever that you looked at, other cult members and stuff. Did they all have the tattoo?
Yes, in some area or another, typically the wrist, but in other cases, shoulder, back.
Do we know? Is it like an amulet or whatever? What the hell did it look like, Randy? What did it look like? I don't remember.
I don't either. Because it was a long time ago.
I know, that's why I threw it at you.
And I'm all blurry because I got beat up.
Look, it's a symbol of chaos, I guess would perhaps be the best word for it. The idea, it connotes the idea of ascension to a higher plane through the bringing of chaos into this and complete.
Wasn't it like a spiral or some shit? I thought the symbol was like a spiral or something.
I actually don't remember now either. I made it up. That was a long time ago.
I think so.
Yeah. The concept, though, is that through chaos and entropy, we can free the universe and our souls from the trappings of these bodies and from the toil of our natural existence. Of course, that's absurd.
Clearly.
You would not wish to bring about the entities or scenarios in which this cult believes will bring them to a higher plane. It will simply destroy them and potentially worse. However, that's not what they believe. We believe the opposite. We must maintain order. We must maintain watchful vigilance against chaos, against entropy, against beings and powers who are ambivalent to our situation.
So at this hotel, is this a convention or something, or is it just we're just staying there like normal people?
You'll be staying as normal people. It's not a convention. I suppose it is in some regards. The cultist certainly may have multiple people there, which I guess you could say was a convention. But I don't think they advertise it.
Okay.
All right, so we just like mingle and shit and like walk around and just like talk to people?
I'm confused. I feel like you probably had an idea of there's cultists operating at the hotel. Your goal is to suss out who that may be. Yes, I would say talk to people.
Right. I'm
just after the clootie thing, maybe we were on a higher level. Like maybe we were up here, but I feel like we've gone back down here where I have to tell you, like, yes, talk to people and find out who's suspicious and what might even be their goal there. Come on, guys. Can you help me out just a little bit?
No, this is fine. Oh, shit. I have one more question. I always wanted to know this. Is Area 51 like a real thing? Is there fucking... Did a UFO crash?
No. It did
like
not.
he cocks his head and looks at him like, come on.
It did. Area 51 is a bunch of bullshit.
But we killed that alien and fucking brought it back. We know there's aliens. I seen it. We killed it.
Wait, what? How did you see an alien? When did you see an alien that we killed?
We were in Philadelphia, the thing with the fucking space drugs and shit with the big fucking head, and you're like, I don't know, I need more proof. Look at
yeah, well, that was an alien, but that didn't come from Area 51. That came from an outer planes portal. You don't want to know about it. It's a whole thing. Trust me. You don't even want to have the clearance to know what an outer planes portal is. Trust me. But I'll tell you this: a UFO did not crash. It was
a weather balloon. Don't tell me it was a weather balloon.
Look, do you really want to? Can you keep your mouth shut? Look, can you owe me? I'll tell you if you'll owe me a favor of just figuring this thing out with the cult and not causing a scene.
Yeah. So he leans up on the table like, yeah.
He looks. He's like, Randy. Look, I don't care. Look, I don't care if you look. I'm not. It's not about telling people; they won't believe you anyway. But my question was, can you do this mission and not, I don't know, burn down the hotel? Don't. I don't know. Don't The Shining this. Like, don't blow up the boiler or whatever.
Okay, well, we got to set some parameters then, because you told us to accost this guy in any way possible, but now you're telling us not to burn down the hotel?
Capture the man or woman, not explode them in the hotel without any knowledge of what they're doing. We need to know what they want from there.
Believe me, I want to know what the fuck they want.
All right. Well, then Area 51 was technically a crash from a Soviet infiltration spy plane, and those aliens you saw were technically genetically engineered Soviet soldiers that were meant to be able to withstand high G-forces and exponential stresses of a craft engineered to make exceptionally tight, high-degree turns. Is that exciting? That's not exciting, right? But that's what happened.
It's
no, that's definitely not exciting.
But they genetically engineered, like, guys, fucking. All right. I guess it doesn't matter.
I don't know why they look the way they do. I just know they did. They were technically human.
All right. Okay. Cool.
In some ways, I'm just saying. If you put them in a centrifuge, you'd have to spin them pretty fast to kill them. Unlike you or I, it would not take much RPMs to kill us in any normal centrifuge. Or at least make us pass out. However, they were... Wow, we spun them a lot.
He gets like 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah, he's like... We really spun them.
All right. Yeah, so he just, Erin is placated. Like, there's probably 1,000 other questions because he watches like a lot of Discovery and history, but he's like, all right, we'll get it. We'll figure it out. We always do, right?
Well, it seems so. That's why I'm putting so much faith in you boys. This one is particularly critical. We have to stop this cult. And we really, if possible, need you to help identify who's involved, who's up the chain.
Hey, if the guy... So, do you know the guy that beat the shit out of Randy, is he here or is he there? Do you have any idea? Because, like, if he's there, can we beat the fuck out of him? Like, Randy claimed it already. Like the dude on The Walking Dead claimed everything. Randy claimed them already.
We don't believe he's there. That's why Randy's able to go without tipping them off. However, okay, I'll give you this one. If you can find out what cell he works for the cult, and you want to find him and let Randy kick his ass, who am I to say no?
Yeah. Like he shakes his fist. It's like, yeah, fucking kick that guy's ass.
I don't mind if you kick cult members' asses. They're terrible, terrible people. So yes, of course, identify as many of the cells as possible. Obviously, whoever this cell is quite powerful and has plenty of resources. So you find out who's pulling the strings for this few agents working at the hotel. Well, working. How do I say? At what? Not at the hotel. They could be guests. Anyway, you find these members, find out who they're working for. From there, hopefully we can track down even more cells. And then if you want to kick as many people's asses as you want, then by God, Uncle Sam says have at it.
All right, sweet. We'll kick the shit out of that guy, Randy. You're muted.
It's about time.
I have a feeling there's going to be two different sessions. One where it's you showing up to the guy's house and just beating the shit out of him as he walks out his door. And then the other one is just you naming things that you like, supernatural, cryptozoological creatures of real or not real with Edward. I'm just like, Chupacabra, Bigfoot, Nessie. And he's just like, real, not real, not real, real. And you're like, what the fuck?
I am down for that episode.
I feel like that's going to happen at some point.
Shit. Well. All right. So I mean, you have like tickets already and shit. Like, are we ready to go? Like, what's the plan?
Yeah, he hands out there. He slides across tickets for tomorrow. They fly out at 9 a.m. You'll get there in a few hours. You'll have transportation picking you up at the airport. You will be taken to the hotel. You will be given essentially like whatever Visa Black cards or whatever. They're like no limit. You can charge whatever within. Well, technically they can charge anything, but if you are like, I bought a Lambo for no reason, they might not reimburse it. But you have them because you need to look, and they have provided. He does instruct you that you'll need to go to it. We don't have to like role play it, but there is a tailor that will custom make suits, tuxedos, whatever fancy as fuck clothing you want. They do have available, and will provide as much clothing as you want / need. Obviously leisure clothing, if you want to take your own stuff to some degree, that's fine. But they will also, yes, like manufacture, like fabricate whatever you need as far as clothing in order to assume your roles.
So that's probably like the rest of the day here then, is being like fitted.
Yeah.
Getting shoes and all that kind of shit.
Yeah. You get fitted, and then it's like you have a Pretty Woman montage of like walking out in different patterns and like being like, We're like, yeah, shirts, ties, tuxes, shoes, like even like casual, like custom shorts, custom, casual clothes, anything you want, they will make sure is ready by tomorrow and packed for you.
Okay.
Randy wants the white James Bond suit from all the movies and stuff like that. Wants the watch to go with it.
Done. The only thing you can't get is weapons because it's very difficult. If you want weapons, you'd have to get them there on your own because they can't fly weapons in your carry-on. So, but everything else is arranged. So whatever you want, I'm going to say right now, you can pick as far as clothing or like hygiene products. From now until the end of this adventure, you can say you have it. So if you want a tuxedo, if you want a suit that's this, if you want a fucking fedora that's this, or a bowler hat, all of that, you can essentially, you don't have to do preparedness. Any clothing that is fancy at all, you can basically claim.
I think Erin would go fedora, like that fucking gray suit, like 50s noir shit. Like he's gonna work that whole thing.
Yeah. So yeah, you can get, and it's like everything custom tailored. So it looks like obviously you paid a lot of money to custom tailor this shit. So
nice.
What's Jack's aesthetic?
I'm gonna get some leather pants and like some capes, and kind of go like kind of like neo steampunk metal, but like sophisticated.
Wow. Okay, I love it. This is great. This is so good.
So you're going as like a rock star?
I'm gonna have like a monocle.
So you have James Bond, like a 50s noir, really classy guy, and fucking steampunk metal goth, which is so like rock star.
So is that your thing? Like you're like an up and coming, like fucking new wave music. Like it's so hot nobody's even heard it yet.
No, my name is I'm a professor. My name is Professor Jacques Crandall, and I simply have a very good taste in clothes.
I love that. I love an eccentric professor character. This is so good already. I love it.
I'm gonna do a lot of black and white suits myself too, besides the James Bond outfit.
Okay. Okay, I should probably note this so I can tell.
Yep, start writing stuff down.
So
you take notes, fucker.
Yeah, so there's Jacques Crandall. And that is professor of what?
I'm a professor of neo-phenomenology, which I'm just making up.
Yep, I love the fact that that's not even a thing. And no one knows what it is.
No one can research it.
And
I love it.
And I'm at multiple universities. I'm essentially a freelance professor.
Ooh, okay. Okay, and okay. I think that's good for you. I think I'm good on that. What is Erin's kind of what's your
Charles
persona?
Dashel.
Okay.
I don't know. Like I was thinking, just like because he sort of has like a middle management position theoretically at the organization, like at the regular job.
Okay.
So maybe some kind of like, I guess he couldn't be mid-man, maybe like executive level manager kind of guy because he could sort of speak the lingo and shit. So like if he had to talk about, fucking, any of that kind of stuff that I don't know about,
sure,
you'd be able to have that conversation.
Okay. At what type of company?
or shipping. I get maybe shipping, like shipping magnet kind of guy, right? So he works for some like heavy duty shipping company, but it wouldn't be the company's name, right? Because it was too close of an association.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to note, or that's fine by me?
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of at the moment.
Andy.
Randy's alter ego, his name is going to be Case Pendleton, and he's going to be
Nice.
He's going to be part owner of Pendleton, and Roth Defense. He's a defense lawyer.
Ooh, okay.
And he even made up a nice dummy site because he's so good with doing stuff like that. So.
I love it. I love it.
So if they try to research it, they have a lot of background on it.
I love it. Okay. Okay. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Anything else anyone wants to add before we take your adventure kick off?
No, let's do this.
All right. You guys fly out. Again, whatever clothes you want happens as you go. You fly over. You land at the airport. As you come out, there is a sign that has all three of your names. Last names of the assumed names. So there's a Randall Dashel Pendleton sign with a rather I guess I would say he's sort of a Nick Frost style looking British guy, kind of a slightly ill-fitting suit, but overall, jolly looking guy who's kind of holding the sign. Is like,
so Erin just kind of like throws his chin up and he goes like, "We're there's a ride."
And and I guess we go over.
Is this my people? What is it? Pendleton? He like looks at the sign. Randall Dashel Pendleton? The three of you, one of you, all of you, whatever it is.
That's us.
That's us.
That's us. Yeah.
Great, fantastic to meet you, Wyatt, Perry. I'm here to get you wherever you need to go. Just if you have any questions locally, quite knowledgeable, know what I'm talking about, I know what I'm doing, and you've got a lot of luggage. Oof. Do you mind giving me a hand with that? Do you mind giving me a hand putting the luggage? Anybody? Nobody? All right, well, I'll get it. He kind of like starts lugging it in and just like slamming it in. If nobody helps, he takes his time. He slams it all in. He is sweating. He is like, oof. He's like, all right, everybody ready to go?
And Jack takes out $100 bills like a tip and gives him 100.
He takes that and he's like, oh, well, thank you very much, sir. It's not necessary. I'll take it, though. And he goes in and opens your car doors to let you in.
Yeah, Erin, he just gets in, flops down, takes his hat off.
Yeah, Randy does the same. He doesn't talk or look at him.
Okay.
And Jack gets in and he's kind of starts to assume his character traits a little bit, and he starts kind of humming to himself in sort of a disassociative sort of a way.
Okay. So you start humming as he takes off. He like kind of like flooring it, driving kind of like wild. He's like, Well, I don't know if you know. I didn't know. Who tells you what you're doing? Edward? You work with Edward?
Erin like stiffens up a little bit. Uh,
No.
Are we
yeah,
supposed to, was this guy our contact? I don't remember.
I don't think we were told.
We actually weren't. Yeah.
We were or no?
You were not told. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, well, they said
uh,
someone would be waiting for you, but you weren't necessarily said if it wasn't specific whether that's a
Yep.
contact.
So I'm gonna say that Randy was sitting up front with him,
Yep.
and he turns his head to him and goes, "Now what the fuck are you talking about?"
What do you mean? What am I talking about? I'm talking about Edward.
Who's Edward?
A member of the agency, one of the directors.
Who are you?
My name's Wyatt. I'm an agent as well, just like you. Well, maybe not just like you, because I don't get to stay at this fancy hotel like you guys are. But I'm your contact here. I've got as many legs on the ground as I can get. My job is to get you safely to the hotel and provide any information you might need on the way, local information, any insights into things you may or may not need. And at the same time, I'll be your contact if you need a quick extraction outside of your mission's preferred method of success. The phone, of course. You can call the phone number, of course, for an extraction if necessary. But if I were you, I would just call my number. He hands you a cell phone that has the number programmed into it.
Right, so Erin visibly like becomes less tense. Like clearly, this guy knows everything that we know. So he's like, "Yes, Edward is indeed our contact. We were not informed that an agent would be picking us up."
Not always forthcoming, is he?
He just laughs and he like looks at Randy.
Yeah, he plays his cards close to his chest. I get it, but I don't. I like to keep things on the straight and narrow. So anything you want to know, I'm happy to let you know. But all I know is what your mission is, what you're supposed to do, and what I'm supposed to do. And I'm getting you safely. I'm your contact if you need anything else. And in the meantime, anything you want to know, I'm happy to show you a good time. Unfortunately, I will at some point need to move on to another mission. I'm also a member of the agency, European branch, of course. And yeah, if you need anything, I can certainly help out. But
So what's our mission?
well, is this some sort of test or?
No, I was just wondering if you knew, because you said you know what's going on. So what's
As far as I know, I don't really have a name for it, but the cult that has been causing trouble throughout, if you will, has been planting or investigating the hotel. Quite an interesting history there, but something interesting is going on, and I believe your job is to find out who's at the reins there.
so if
And of
you're
course, extract them.
So if you're an agent, why aren't you doing it? Because you know a lot about what's going on here. Why are we doing this?
Well, I was told what's going on here, sir. Well, I'm just one man. You're a team, and from what I've heard, has done well. Quite extraordinary things.
Okay, so what have we done?
As far as I know, you've captured a number of entities. Now, I am not privy to the specifics of those entities, but I know that at least in one case, from what I've heard from fellow agents, you've captured an entity, well, I don't know, alive? Is that the best word? Whatever. Alive? That's unheard of. It's kind of legendary over here. No one's. I mean, it was it's the clootie, right? It's a European. I mean, it's a Scottish legend, and you've caught one. You've frozen one in a truck. Brilliant.
Aaron just kind of gets like a happy look on his face, like, yeah, we did that.
Nice.
Look, the others I don't know, but that to me is, I mean, I'm humbled. I would never expect to take on such a mission as this. Even just the luxury you'll be in for however many weeks you'll need is beyond my pay grade.
It's tough. I mean, you fucking, that was a rough mission. We got it, but like fucking claws, shit. Like,
can I ask?
This guy's all right, Randy.
Can I ask you a question? I have a question.
All right.
Did you really kill one of those fucking claw bird metal-eye bitches without even being a member of the agency? You just did it like on your own. You just did it. You just fucking killed the thing.
Well,
is that true? That's the rumor. The rumor is an American team fucking killed one of those things and had no experience, no knowledge whatsoever. They just fucking killed it.
Well, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's true. That's 100% true. But see, it all started because Randy's friend at work like disappeared. And then he was like, hey, my fucking friend disappeared. And then we started to look at it, and it was like a whole big fucking thing. And then like we found there was like a monster and shit. Like, you ever hear the Ghost Facers? Because that's us. Like that's our shit. You ever see that on YouTube?
Yeah,
monster hunters.
I mean, I saw the video. First of all, yeah, it's called a sisterite, and you fucking killed a sisterite. You just didn't even know. You just fucking found it and fucking killed it. Like, I've seen the video, and granted, I'm sure there's something in the classified files, but I'm impressed. I have to say, you guys, I am fans. I've watched the videos. I knew you were the Ghost Faces, but I didn't want to lead on too much until we were in the car. You never know who's listening. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you guys, you kind of got a reputation. If you don't know, in the organization.
He slaps Jack because he's in the back with me. He's like, fucking reputation. They know who we are.
Jack starts thinking really strong in his mind, almost to. Jack is suspicious that this guy is reading their minds in some way, so he starts projecting in his head some of the effect of, your mother's a piece of shit whore or something like that. Just something really horrible, just to see if this guy picks up and does anything.
Okay. He's like, yeah, we all thought it is a bunch of American bullshit. Like, oh, look at us. We have got the big balls. We're America. We're bullshit. We hear that shit all the time. But you had a video that was great. Fucking Ghost Faces. I'm driving the Ghost Faces to the next mission. Although you're not the Ghost Faces, right? Like, I've heard you can't be the Ghost Faces here, right? Yeah, you're going to get killed if you say that, right?
Right.
Well, maybe not. You guys are like superheroes or some bullshit. I don't know.
We're supernatural heroes.
Yeah.
Oh
no! Don't say that.
Trademark that shit. Copyright, trademark. Take it. Put it in your next Ghost Faces video. We're supernatural heroes. I love it.
We have to clear that with Edward, right? Because he brought it up. I wonder if we could fucking use that. I mean, we're ghost hunters, but like maybe we could, whatever.
I mean, are you ghost hunters or are you ghost faces? Ghost face.
Well, yeah, because the thing was cool, yeah, it
looks cool. I like it. I thought it was great. Granted, I'd lie and say you inspired me to be in this job, but not really. A whole thing scared the piss out of me. I ended up freaking out, and the agency recruited me, but I am inspired by you, so there's that. It's a real honor, by the way. So anything I can do to help you out, let me know. It's going to be a little bit of time, probably about an hour to get to the hotel. And then you're going to live it up in lap of luxury until you find out whoever's trying to do this crazy cult bullshit.
Have you like? So what have you been doing? Like, have you captured anything? Like what's your angle? Like, you're not just driving people around, right?
No, I mean mostly I'm local intelligence. I would say I infiltrate the local populace, find out who's doing what where. I kind of blend in. I'm a sociable chum. Go in there and find out who's doing what, and then I go in and say, "Hey, what's going on?" And maybe sometimes I may or may not have a little fun with the ladies and get their lips looser in more ways than one. But anywho, so I'm more intelligence gathering, eyes and ears on the ground. Not really a doer per se yet. I am hoping to do that, but so far haven't had a chance.
Well, so what can you tell us about what's going on, like right now, like about the hotel? Like have you spied anybody like suspicious? Do you know like who any of the players are? Like, do you have anything you could give us?
Well, there's nothing as far as dubious players. I don't have much to tell you. The owner and general manager, Friedrich Schilling, he's in charge of the whole thing. I'm sure he'll meet you. He talks to every guest. There's a few other workers there. Quite a few fairly rich, hoity-toity types. And that's nothing else that I know, really. Unfortunately, I don't know who might be operating. Guests come in and out all the time. It's quite a popular place. So that's all I know, really. Friedrich obviously knows a lot about the hotel, and he's the one that you might obviously want to dig in with as far as some of the history. His family's owned it since it was built. So he'd probably be the best to know any history there. Other than that, I mean, some people say it's haunted. Some people say, witches were, I don't know, cavorting with demons and the devil and Satan himself and all that, and then satanic cults and all that. But I don't know. I think it's just because people have too good of a time. I don't think the church liked it.
Well, do you think Schilling's on the up and up? If cults have been using this place for a long time, do you think maybe the family's in on it? Do you have any?
Can't say. I don't know. He's pretty protective, certainly. I wouldn't know if he's been involved or not. Who knows? His family certainly could have. It's not a leap of logic to think that he definitely. I mean, maybe they've definitely been in charge the whole time, but at the same time, he seems fairly cordial.
Well, they always have that veneer of culture and respect. Cultists don't want you to know they're cultists.
Yeah, you never know. I don't know. Of course. But I would certainly start with him if you want to know anything about the I don't know. I've heard there's some interesting architecture around the hotel itself. Who knows? Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I haven't really investigated. It's not really my cup of tea, if you will. But I've heard that something about it seems I don't know. You ever seen that? You ever seen Ghostbusters? Ghost.
Of course.
All right. Well, like you know, the building's like I don't know, like an antenna for ghosts or whatever. That's like I've heard like the hotel has some sort of symbology or something that it's kind of a magnet for energy of some sort, but who knows? I don't know if that's true or not.
All right, well, that's interesting. I would have never thought that Ghostbusters would be appropriate to the job, but I mean, it gives us an avenue to look at. Are there any like local hangouts where maybe some of these more undesirable cult type people may be hanging out somewhere in close proximity? Because you could dress up a pig and it's still a pig. I mean, not all these guys are gonna fit in over here.
Well, the town's about half-hour away from the hotel itself, so it'd take about half-hour drive. I could take you certainly if you want to ever go down. Happy to drive you. But yeah, it's a good ways out. The hotel kind of likes to keep its occupants, restricted from the common folk. It's kind of how it always was. And I guess how it'll always be, if you know what I mean. I'm not getting there anytime soon. Unless.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Whatever it is you want. What do you need?
I was just going to say, not more through them. Not going to be the same. It won't always be that way.
Well, we'll see. But yeah, I'd say town. Best chance of finding people who aren't quite as upscale as the hotel.
All right. Well, I mean, we've got a work cut out for us. It's a big organization from what we hear, and we don't know who any of the players are, so we'll be doing a lot of legwork.
I don't envy you, but I also kind of envy you because that hotel is going to be fantastic. I've heard its pool is second to none. In all of Switzerland. I mean, come on. I heard you could swim for days in it.
We may put that to the test.
Since we're in the car, I'm just throwing this out there, guys. Since we're in the car right now, and nobody's seen us yet at the hotel, possibly should we consider seeing if we can take care of some of Randy's unfinished business first?
Yeah, I mean, Edward said that he didn't think that guy was here.
What? I thought he said he might be.
No, I think he's one of like the local cells that like by us, right? They're not sure exactly like, so that the cults have cells and like all these different things. So like he's like our local.
Fucking. Okay. I was under the impression
that we could like in our findings and stuff like that, we could come across it.
Okay, like so that we would find him when we went back home or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood then. Okay, so I take that back.
Okay.
It never happened. I never said it.
All right, John.
Yes.
Get it out.
I'm going to leave it. It was all in character.
I was like, that's the. Isn't that
international sign for boogie? All right.
No, this is the proofreading for strike it.
Strike it.
It looks like you're striking a pose more.
I'm gonna
striking off the record.
Are you dabbing? Is that what you're doing? Is that a thing still?
My kid does it 50 times a damn day, so yes, it does.
Dabbing.
All right. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
You don't want to know.
So, what would you like? Is there anything else on the trip?
So, I think so. Like I assume we make some small talk, and so maybe you can get a chance to like jump in on this mission with us, and blah blah blah. We'll keep you in mind if we need a hand, and like all that kind of stuff. But Erin would suggest to Randy like maybe see what you can find on shilling before we even get there. So we're forearmed before we get there. Like maybe there's some like weird thing that pops up, or at least maybe we know. I don't know. So we're not completely taken by surprise. Like whatever we can find out.
Yeah, no, I'm cool about getting some background in him because obviously, if all this stuff is going around the hotel, obviously he knows something about it. So yeah, I get on my phone and start just trying to find out as much as I can about him.
Okay. As far as you can tell, he inherited. Well, his dad obviously ran and managed the hotel. Prior to him, he took over a few years ago. The place was a little stuffy. It was kind of more kind of old money style fancy, which is fine, but kind of had gone out of style. So the hotel wasn't doing great when he inherited it, and then he sort of turned it into sort of a much more modern. It still has sort of people kind of praise him for keeping kind of the classic charm, but there's like DJs that do like like parties, and there's like dance parties, and now like a lot of the young rich elite also are going there, but not in a way that's like gaudy. So even some of the old customers are like still showing up. So he's kind of like universally praised as like saving this this hotel from basically ruin by kind of bringing it into the modern age. Other than that, he's married, has kids that he's likely going to leave it to one of his children. He lives at the hotel, obviously, in private quarters. And then other than that, you don't find anything. There's no real scandals or anything. Seems like he's on the up and up.
Okay, so basically Randall Randy's just kind of looking through everything, and he's like, he's clean as far as I can tell. On the outside, I'm sure that if there's something underneath that hasn't reared its ugly head, but I can't find anything on him right now.
I mean, I guess that's good.
It means he probably conducts all this stuff in secret.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
If he is, doing these rituals, whatever it is that he's going to be doing, that we're trying to find out, it just means he's good at hiding his tracks.
Yeah.
So you didn't no lawsuits, no nothing, no weird ties, like a Freemason or anything like that. You didn't turn up anything.
No, nothing there. Wyatt, is there any word on the street? Is there anything that just has kind of come up that people just like, even if it's something that's sounds like it's ridiculous that maybe some drunk at a bar had said? Is there anything out there
about Schilling himself?
Yeah.
Not much. He's pretty clean. I will say the thing people think is pretty weird. Usually, his family's been pretty proud of its history, but he's definitely tried to keep a little bit of a wrap on any of the scandals in the past. He tries to hand wave some of the. He likes to downplay any supernatural haunted. He's like, nope, that's not a thing. This is just a fancy hotel. We're here to serve you. You can ski. You can enjoy the beautiful mountains. You can hike. But he seems a little, as far as I've heard, he's a little touchy about some of the supernatural goings on at his place.
So I almost wonder if it's something where his family has been caught up in this kind of stuff, and he's trying to get away from it. And maybe there's going on around that he doesn't realize. Maybe he is technically clean and he does not know what's going on around him.
Oh, it's possible. I don't know. He doesn't like it though. I'm sure I probably wouldn't lead with that if I were you.
Oh, I would love to leave with that. Say, oh my gosh, have you dealt with any supernatural, phenomenon and stuff like that? Because we're supernatural heroes and we need to know this stuff. No, of course I'm not gonna say that. Jeez,
Well, no, I just mean maybe not lead with like, hey, I've heard you have a really haunted hotel, or that there were like witches or whatever doing, secret rituals. I just thought like some people do lead with that, and he did not like it. He doesn't like it.
Some people are really stupid because that's not a good idea.
Well, some people are like, hey, we're the ghost faces. Not that you would ever do this. We're like, we're ghost faces and we're here to investigate ghosts. And he's like, piss off.
I really hope he says piss off. That sounds
That's
good.
the first way to get your ass kicked out of that hotel. I'll say, don't do that.
All right.
Definitely
Sounds
don't
good.
do that.
I heard this place there's not a lot going on. It's very nice. All right. Welcome.
I've heard this place, maybe lead with, I've heard this place is really nice and has a great party scene and has fantastic rooms and a great pool. He'll love you.
All right.
Maybe lead with that.
Sounds good.
You know, it might be interesting though, guys. If we because there's shit up here that's got to be haunted, right? So like, what if we get like a half a dozen pamphlets or some shit about like haunted tours, and we just like fucking like we leave them out and we see who picks them up and then see what the reaction is, right? Because maybe it'll tip something off. We just like fucking throw one on a table, go stand in the corner, see who picks it up. I'm just saying, I'm spitballing here.
I don't know if that's a good idea, man. I think that would ruin the whole mission. I think right away. I think we want to steer clear of that.
All right.
I think we might want to take a couple days and just get the lay of the land.
Yeah.
Talk to people, and then I think we'll have more information about what to maybe make a plan. Hey, we also got to make sure these rooms aren't bugged, so we're not going to be able to talk.
For sure.
We can't. We're going to have to stay in character. Even amongst ourselves often. Maybe we should come up with some sort of code language or something right now.
We can pick up like a little whiteboard or some shit, right? We just have like whiteboards. We just write shit down.
Yeah, they might have cameras everywhere. Yeah. I think maybe, I think we need some kind of secret like code language or something. Like, like you were saying, the word orange juice, it really means, like slaughter him or something like that,
Oh, it would probably be good to work that out beforehand. We don't want any mix up with slaughtering somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if we go out for breakfast.
You guys could always, I think there's, jet tubs. So why don't you guys could all get in naked so they make sure there's no bugs. That's right.
Oh.
I'm just giving you the piss up.
Wyatt, do you know how to make a demon sword? Because Edward said that you can make a demon sword, and I'm really interested in that now. That sounds
what? A demon sword? No. Nah. Can't make it. I mean, theoretically, demon swords exist, but I can't make a demon sword.
Have you ever seen one? That sounds amazing.
Of course not. I knew a guy who said he saw.
Oh my gosh! You gotta get us his number.
Well, here's a sad thing. I've heard it just looks like a sword. It just looks like a normal sword.
But it's a fucking demon sword. I don't care what it looks like.
Yeah, well, you can't see the demon. Come on. What was your name?
Yes, you can. I can see it just fine.
Well, I'm just saying I couldn't see it. I saw a picture of it. I couldn't see a demon. It just looked like a really shitty sword to me. I don't know. It just looked like a dumb sword. I don't know. Something you could have bought from any fucking tourist shop. I don't know. That's true. Like, oh, look, I'm King Arthur. Oh, but there's a demon in it. Except there was a demon in it, at least as far as I was told.
Well, shit, they have that shit locked up, right? Like,
Well, I don't know what they did with it. I just saw the picture. I mean, it was a cell phone. It was a selfie with a demon sword, and I was like, that seems inappropriate. But they did it anyway, and it circulated around. But they're still an agent, as far as I know. It's probably in a vault somewhere. Probably.
He looks at Randy and goes, top men.
We're having fun, guys. So are we at the hotel yet?
Sure. He pulls up, and he's like, well, at least I don't have to take out all your luggage myself this time. So there you see like several bellboys, bellhops, whatever, coming out. They are opening the trunk, taking out trunks or luggage, whatever you're packing. Yeah. Welcome to the La Hotel Grand. I hope you enjoy your stay. If you need anything, please make your way inside and check in. Hopefully, your reservations will be ready, and we will help you into your room.
Erin just so he waits for them to open the door. He puts his hat on, and then they say the thing, and he like takes his hat off, and he just walks.
Okay.
He doesn't say anything.
Okay.
Randy just basically just walks by, cold.
Pretty much same. Pretty much same.
Wyatt's like, bye guys. Nice talking to you. I guess.
Oh, was that him?
Anything, I'll see. Well, he didn't say that. They said
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
other people were getting the luggage, but then you just walk in. He's like, all right, bye guys. I'll see you later, I guess. And then he just gets in the car and is like, they take the stuff out. And unless anyone says or doesn't, then he drives away.
Well, I mean,
we wouldn't be in our characters if we were like chatting with the help. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, in the car, like as they were pulling up, Randy would have been like, cool, or Aaron would have been like, cool, thanks for your help. We'll be in touch, blah, blah. But like, yeah, when we pull up out front and the car stops, like, yeah, it's done.
Okay. Yeah, he's like, okay. Then he's like, yep, great talking to you. Hope I was helpful. If anyone needs anything, here's my number. He gives you out a card. He's like, just let me know. Now I'll make my way off.
Yep.
So yeah, the guys then you go up, I assume to the main counter. Yes? No?
Yeah, to check in, whatever. Yeah.
Yep. You walk in, there's a ludicrously gorgeous young lady who's like, Guten Tag. Do you have a reservation?
Yes, indeed. He pulls out like a piece of paper that's got like the reservation information on it.
Okay. She takes it, and she's like, welcome, Mr. Dashel. We have your room ready, as well as your compatriots. If you are all ready, we will have the bellhops take your luggage upstairs.
He says if we need anything and we call, we'll get you. And he kind of like winks at her.
She blushes some and says, if you call the desk, I'll probably answer.
Okay. And he just nods his head and waits for the other two.
Okay, so you just did your own reservation?
Technically, she's like processing all of you. They were all kind of together-ish. So you don't have to do anything, but she'll have your keys ready and everything.
Okay. So yeah, I'll step up and take my key, and so I slip it into my steampunk breast pocket with like a cool metal button on it.
Okay. Anyone
Randy
else?
will take his card. Randy will take his card too. He's not saying much.
Okay.
He's saying nothing, actually.
In this case, actual keys, not cards. Just so you know, physical like old keys. The bellhops are ready. They know what your rooms are. They tell you your room numbers. Obviously, there's Wi-Fi, all that stuff. But as you are turning, I assume to follow them to your room, a rather tall man in very, very nice dress, definitely a custom tailored suit, walks up very properly to you and says, "Ah, new guests. Am I correct?"
Indeed, we have just recently arrived.
Please, let me introduce myself. My name is Friedrich Schelling. I am the owner and general manager of the hotel. My family has owned this property for hundreds of years. I would like to assure you that your stay must be extremely enjoyable. If there's anything that I can do to make your stay more enjoyable, please let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful time in my property. There's guides in your room for everything available. And of course, every evening, dinner is served from 7 to 9. And of course, the what's the word for you? The party, the celebration goes on well until everyone's ready to stop. So it's quite a time. Everyone enjoys it greatly. And if there's anything I can do, please, again, let me know.
He inclines his head to him and he looks past him to the woman working at the desk and says, the hotel is beautiful. Making eye contact with her.
She kind of blushes and like looks down a little, like.
Yeah, I tip my hat to Schilling and say, "It's quite a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Schilling. I'm sure our stay will be magnificent."
Randy, anything or?
You know what? I think Randy would just kind of give him a slight nod, like not super approving, but just enough to be like, thank you, but not
Sure.
in a obviously warming way.
Sure.
A curt acknowledgement of his existence.
That's right.
I guess if you're heading off, are you heading off toward the rooms then?
Yeah, I think so. Probably, right? I mean,
oh, he stood up. He was gonna compliment the cloak.
Oh, Brad, are you still in the room?
No, I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here.
As you're getting ready to walk by, Schelling is like, I must say, this is a fantastic cloak. You'll have to give me the name of your tailor. Is this custom?
Oh my God, he
Yes,
said
indeed. Yes, yes, indeed, it is. This tailor is it's a gentleman, a private gentleman on Gloucester Street in Boston. He keeps to himself mostly. It's quite an eccentric. However, I am one of, I would imagine, about 6 clients, and I would be more than happy to pass your information on to him. He doesn't use email or telephone. He's very eccentric, but I could personally.
If you could make an introduction, I will say, I have anything you want at the hotel is obviously yours. But I will say, this is exquisite workmanship, something I have not seen in quite a long time. I would appreciate the introduction if possible.
It would be my pleasure.
Oh, sir, you are too good. You are too good to me, Mr. Randall. Anything you can do, please let me know personally. I'll let you go to your room, though. Everyone can freshen up. There's plenty of time before dinner.
thank you. We look forward to our stay here.
He bows and then rushes the bellhops to take your stuff.
Erin reaches out his hand to shake because he wants to get a look at the wrist.
Okay. He shakes your hand. He does not have any tattoo on the wrist.
Okay.
And do you want to call it there?
Sure. Yeah, as the elevator
room
kind of close behind us. Yeah.
Yep. That'll give us some prep time also if you want to do my dumb idea for the next thing as well. Depends on how. I'll do some Googling in the meantime. I have some sound effects I want to add.
Yeah, we probably should have did that already, right? I mean, we were talking about that for the other things.
Yeah, I know, but this one was
Is that going to be an advancement in RPG technology?
It's going to be a use of RPG technology.
One a quantum leap forward in gaming.
I don't know if anybody's doing sound effects like live in show. I think my assumption is that most of it is in post, but I don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
Would you guys? You know what you guys could do? And I'm being serious about this. You could get. You could just get a keyboard and get a soft sense, just some software, and you could just map out on your keyboard like different sound effects. Like like really high quality shit. You could do it live. Like if you needed thunder or something, or if you needed like creaking doors, you could just literally just sit there. The
problem I was trying to figure out Googling it. Like I know you can get a MIDI keyboard and just fucking program whatever you want, and I'm like, but I don't know how to know what's what without fucking it up. Versus like
you literally just you could just write. You could take a piece of masking tape and just put it physically labeled.
That's true. I guess I could just draw like lightning bolts, tape that to one key, and then draw like fart sound. I don't know. Like that was my thing. I was like, I don't know how to make this work.
That would be the best. Just low tech. Yeah, low tech for that part of it. Yeah.
But yeah, I have a couple different ways that I can do some fun time stuff with audio apps. So I'm going to try to do some of that for our other project. And then hopefully it could spill over into this one. It's just we don't often need sound effects for this.
Well, see, you don't listen to the episodes. There's plenty of sound effects in the episodes.
That's right. I don't because I'm a dickhead.
Is there anything called? Is there a podcast out there? Well, I'll wait till this isn't live anymore because I don't want to give away the idea because it's probably $1 million idea. So I'll have to wait.
All right,
okay, well let's wrap up because I know you're tired and want to go to bed. So thanks everybody for watching. Again, as always, likes and subscribes, reviews, comments, all that stuff is awesome. We obviously have coffee for sale. There's a link in the show notes. The coffee's awesome. We hope that you would check it out if you're a coffee aficionado. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. We're all over the place. Brett's got his own music business as well. There are links for Brett's stuff in the show notes on the MP3s because Brett actually does our intro music. And Kurt is on the MFG cast, so check out the MFG cast as well. He's doing an awesome job over there too. So thanks for watching all the things and liking all the stuff, and we'll catch you next time.